Hello, I'm Layla. Thank you for reaching my channel. It's very good to have you here. Today I'll be recreating this photo, or at least attempt to. I'm starting with moisturizing my lips and my eyelids. I like doing my eye makeup first so I can avoid any fallout that might ruin my base. And I start with my eyebrows. I brush them, fill them in, and then blend. Really getting in there. A quick water break. Gotta keep myself hydrated. I use concealer as my eyeshadow primer. I noticed I hadn't gotten my eyebrows done in a while, so I just started plucking them. With my eyes, I use the transition shade as my first eyeshadow. I used the 𝒮𝑂𝒾𝑒𝗓𝑁 palette, which is very pigmented, so I use a very light hand. Speaking about pigment, I used this pink shadow from the 𝘀𝑂𝒾𝒶𝓁𝓈 palette, which for some reason really did not show up well on me. I spent a lot of time digging into the palette and applying many layers just to get them to show up on me. But after trials and tribulations, I made it work. Since the pink shadow was cool toned, I wanted to warm it up a bit, so I used a different eyeshadow from a different 𝑘olourPop palette, just to darken it up a bit and warm it up. I used the same shade to darken the edges. And I then used the brush that I've used for my transition shade just to soften it up. Maybe you noticed, but I left the inner part of my eye empty. Since I knew I was going to do a cut crease from my previous experience when I used my concealer to do that cut crease over eyeshadow, the color of the shadow mixed into the concealer. So it stained like the concealer, so there was like this color on it, and it made it hard to apply white shadow on top of it. So I just used concealer on empty eyelid just to make it a lot more easier. Since I have hooded eyes, I constantly go back and forth with cutting the crease and looking in the mirror to make sure my hood doesn't cover my cut crease. So that's just what I do. After carving, I use a white eyeshadow. I know a lot of people prefer using a white shadow base to do the cut crease since it really saves a lot of time. But I really try to make the most out of what I already have by using like products for multiple steps. So for now, that's just how I'm going to stay with doing my cut crease, at least for the time being. I used the 𝑘olourPop Jelly Eyeshadow Eyeliner to create this line. After finishing the steps of the eyeshadow, I like using micellar water on my inner corners just to get rid of any fallout that could interfere with my concealer that I'll be putting on afterwards. I then do my eyeliner. I am incredibly bad at it, so please lower your expectations. I prime my face and pay special attention to my under eyes since I'm prone to creasing and line forming. I color correct with a red color corrector to get rid of hyperpigmentation and darkness around my lips and under eyes. For the steps, I like using my fingers to blend. I found that using my fingers both diffuses the color. It also doesn't soak up a lot of moisture from the skin. And when it comes to under eyes, especially to my under eyes, to avoid the possibility of noticeable cracks. In order for the color corrector and my foundation to not mix together into like one red shade, I set the color corrector by using the Fenty Beauty translucent blotting powder. And I apply foundation. I didn't apply the foundation all the way up to my under eyes. I found that the more product you have on your under eyes, the higher the chances are of lines to form. So I just apply concealer and blend. I also use a concealer to carve my brows. With the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I set my T-zone, which is the chin, lips, and under eyes. I use a face powder all over the face, just to set everything. I then apply eyeshadow to the edges of my under eyes, just to create a seamless eyeshadow look, and add a bit of glitter. I curl my lashes, add mascara and falsies. I know my lashes are like super short and super straight, so even after doing all of that, they still don't look blended with the falsies, but it's whatever, you know. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not aiming for a perfect look, I'm looking for a look that fits me, that I like. I use a heavy hand when applying the contour, just in order for it to show up on camera, so I needed it to be much more noticeable. So just keep that in mind that if I were to wear it out, I would have used much less product and blended a bit more when it comes to the contour. Am I the only one that finds nose contouring to be so satisfying? Like, I love it, like seeing it shrink in real time. So satisfying. Now we've reached the arguably most important part in every makeup routine, which is the blush. For the past 3 years, I've been like obsessed with blush. Like, it's incredible how it can make your face go from looking empty to vibrant and more three-dimensional. So I applied it on my cheeks, chin, under my nose, and on the edges of my forehead. And here we have the lip saga. Basically, I spent like 30 minutes trying to make the lip work, but the lipsticks for some reason just weren't meshing that day. Like, they just weren't doing the thing. The lipsticks really wasn't lip-sticking for some reason. But eventually I just left it as is. Like, I really could not bother. We all have bad lip makeup days. Now I added a wig that makes me feel like a whole new person. I love wigs. I elongated my eyeliner, and that's it. That is the makeup look. I know it's not even remotely close to the inspiration photo, but I still had a lot of fun trying out this makeup look and giving it my own kind of twist. I guess it ended up as more of an inspired look than a recreation. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please stay tuned to my soon-to-be next uploads and consider liking and subscribing. I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!